year on from Upton Park, moved to Stratford. Does it still feel weird being here?
Yeah, it's not home yet.
No.
As far as I'm concerned, it is really weird. It's really weird coming here. You've been to the Boleyn before, Flav. It's full of old dirty streets with street traders and things like that. And you're walking in it, it's like a different world now. You know what I mean? So
there is something amazing about traditional football stadium.
It's the romance of it. It's what it is. It's a working class game, and it's been brought into upper class areas as far as I'm concerned. Although it did need to be done, but I miss the old place so much. And with what we was promised and what we've come to, I don't think we've been told whole truths.
So Nick, this don't feel very football, to be honest.
Nah, it's not what we're used to, is it? But to be fair, mate, we don't barely see this on match day because we're not allowed through here.
What do you mean?
Well,
like no football fans,
no
animals.
Fans. You can come in here,
yeah.
You can't walk through to the stadium.
Don't create a ruckus.
Well, don't create a crowd, I think, is more of the...
It's a shame because the acoustics in there would be perfect for a few sing songs.
Yeah, it would. Well, not that anyone sings over here anymore, mate.
So we're here, and to be honest, it looks all right. I mean, it's a big stadium, feels like a football stadium. Got a big West Ham United up there. What do you see? What I don't?
Well, to be honest, Flav, it's a bit smoke and mirrors up there. They're not built in. They're just bits of what do you call it? Banners, I suppose.
Yeah. The problem with with this sort of stuff is that it takes a lot more than a bit of paint, pictures being put up.
Of course.
Letters being put on top of the stadium.
We've had a meeting with the club in the last few months. We've had 2 meetings with them. How to make this more like our home. How to make this better. How to improve the match day experience for people. But you look at that, mate. Like the stadium, around it, there's nothing. It references the Olympics a lot, which you'd expect it to. It's built for an Olympic stadium. The Olympics is all around here. But this is now the home of us. You know, this is going to be our home. We're the main tenants of this stadium. There's none of our history around here. You know, history is not, as you said before, mate, history is not, painted on walls. It's created in the place. But a little reminder from the past. For me, when the club moved here, they sort of tried to leave that all behind. They had that farewell Boleyn season and all that. And then when we moved there, I think it was a quote from the club themselves when they turned around and said, history starts here.
Yeah.
Well, history doesn't start here. We're not starting afresh. The team that plays in there, the infrastructure of the club, the only thing that's changed is the stadium. It's the same as when we moved from the Boleyn. Why should we forget it? Why should we forget our past sons? Why should we forget our past achievements? History doesn't start here. History started 100 and so many years ago. We had such a good season last season, and I thought moving here after the season we had, with the players we had, I thought they'd go out in the summer and make a real statement, you know, buy someone of worth, start to push on, but they never done that. And what they did is they signed squad filler for the Europa League that we went out of in the first round. The thing is, it's always going to be a difficult transition coming here. Yeah. It's always going to be a difficult transition going to any new stadium. Tottenham know that.
I know.
Then they go and play at Wembley. It takes a little bit getting used to. The team have not really performed here, but it does go hand in hand a little bit. If you're going to come to a new stadium and you want to perform well, you've got to have quality players. That goes without saying in the Premier League full stop.
Yeah.
Let alone coming to what I consider as a neutral stadium.
A year ago we did some filming, and do you remember what you said about moving here?
It's got to be done. I said that.
Stand by that now?
Yeah, I think I do. I think I said at the time it had to be done. We had to move out at some point. Maybe it's a bit too soon, but the deal to take this stadium was such a good one for them, not us, but them. I can understand fully why they took it. At the end of the day, it seems to me like they've thought about everything around the football club. It makes financial sense. It's this, it's that. It's good for corporate hospitality. It's us they ain't thought about. The trouble here at the beginning of the season, you had people walking through the turnstiles into the away end. You had people punching each other's lights out. You had tarpaulin that didn't go all the way up. And you had a line of stewards and you had people just walking over them.
Yeah,
it's nonsense. them sort of things they didn't get right. Now, coming from a footballing background and at the Boleyn, they had them things spot on. We're not fans anymore, we're customers. So customer service has got to be at the forefront of every business. Everything except football.
Yeah, but they know they've got football fans by the bollocks, because where are we going? We ain't coming.
Exactly.
We ain't going to not come.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, going back to that David Gold, if you offered him a shopping £50 in Oxford Street, one of the busiest shopping streets in the world, would he take it if he had to have an outside source
to make sure his customers,
are happy and satisfied? He wouldn't. No businessman would, because how could you trust your reputation on that? Yeah. That's what they've done here. And they failed miserably at the beginning of the season. And I must be honest, it's got a little bit better in terms of stewarding and things like that over the last few months.
So Tottenham are making their move over to Wembley. It's been confirmed next season White Hart Lane is going to be completely redeveloped, getting our new stadium. Everyone's very, very excited about that, but we're all a little bit nervous about Wembley. I think you can see the form we've had this season. It hasn't been great. There is a massive difference, like what you're saying about Mark Noble, about sight lines, about understanding the nuances of a new stadium. We're going to have to adapt very quickly. But past Wembley, what advice can you give to Spurs fans moving in? Is it about patience? Is it about what can we do?
I honestly think Spurs, as they are now, are primed to go to a new stadium. Like, I don't think they'll have the problems we had here. The last few years, Spurs have been going up the table. You know, they've signed very good players, very young, hungry players that, you know, want to win things. You know what I mean? I think Spurs are primed to do that. When you look at us, we was in the Championship 5 years ago. You know what I mean? Trying to get our way back up. This has come too quickly for us. I think you, as a football club, I think the move to Wembley, personally, before you move to the other ground, will put you in good stead to win trophies in the future, because you will be used to playing there. So when them FA Cup semi-finals and finals come along with the team you've got, you'll walk it.
So Nicky, after the year you've had, what advice would you give to any football fan that's facing a stadium move?
It's not going to be the same. It's never going to be the same. I would say my advice, firstly, as you're coming to the end of your stadium, embrace it. Really take it in. Try and do things there that you've never done, like them things that, you know, you've always promised yourself to do and you've never done. Go and do them before it's gone.
You sure?
Yeah, because it's gone. You know what I mean? And after it's gone, it's gone. What do you mean, are you sure?
My plan's to get on the pitch naked.
Well, maybe not that, Flav. Well, why not? You'll be banned from football for the rest of your life. But no, really taking the old stadium. But when you get to the new one, don't compare them. No. You'll have a bad time if you start comparing. This ain't like Upton Park. That ain't like White Hart Lane. This ain't like the Emirates.
It's inevitable, though, isn't it?
Highbury. It is inevitable, and you will see it. But if you compare it, you'll have a bad time.
It's unstoppable, really.
That's the way football's going, mate. They're all going to be like it eventually.
All right, Nicky. Thank you very much.
No worries, mate. Thanks for coming down.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Cheers.